Hello students, today I am going to discuss chapter 5 Indigo by Louis Fisher. Louis Fisher was a volunteer at the British Army between 1918 to 1920. He was a journalist too, and he wrote for the New York Times and the Saturday Review and for European and Asian publication. This chapter is an extract from his book The Life of Mahatma Gandhi. First of all, I would like to tell you the theme of this chapter. So, here in this chapter, the leadership shown by Mahatma Gandhi to secure justice for oppressed people through convincing argumentation and negotiation. So, it was in the year 1942, Gandhiji was at his ashram in Sevagram, and he was just reciting the incident of 1917 to the narrator when he urged the departure of the British. So, in December 1916, Gandhi had gone to the annual convocation of the Indian National Congress in Lucknow. There he met Rajkumar Shukla, a peasant from Champaran, and he came up to Gandhi and requested him to visit his district. Rajkumar looked poor and emaciated, means he was thin and because of starvation. Gandhi had never heard about Champaran, so it was at the foothills of the Himalayan near the kingdom of Nepal. The peasants at Champaran were sharecroppers. So sharecropper is a tenant farmer, one who borrows land to grow crops and who give a part of each crop grown as rent to the landlord. So Rajkumar Shukla had come to Gandhi to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. So when Gandhiji heard, he said Shukla that he had appointments to go to other parts of India. Shukla accompanied him everywhere, impressed by the peasant's determination. Gandhiji agrees. He tells Shukla that he has to go to Kolkata and Shukla can take him to Champaran from there. So on the appointment day, Shukla met Gandhi at Kolkata. They boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. Shukla leads Gandhi to the house of a lawyer, Rajendra Prasad, who later became president of Congress Party and of India. So Rajkumar Prasad was out of town that time. The servant knew Shukla was a poor peasant who was pestering their master to help Indigo sharecroppers. So the servant thought Gandhiji to be a peasant as well. This was because of Gandhiji's simplicity. He was frail and dressed in a peasant attire. They thought that since Gandhiji was with Shukla, he was also an untouchable. Thus, they did not permit Gandhi to draw water from the well. They feared that if some drops of water fell into the well from his bucket, then the entire well will become polluted. So he did not allow to draw water from the well to Gandhiji. As Gandhiji was very meticulous to attain complete information about the condition of patient of Champaran, he sends a telegram to his associates. He stayed in Professor Malkani's home for 2 days. Professor Malkani was a teacher in a government school there. It was an extraordinary thing to give shelter to a man who is a revolutionist working against the British. Gandhiji chided the lawyers of Muzaffarpur for collecting big fee from the sharecroppers. The peasants were so crushed and fear-stricken that law courts were useless for them. They were afraid of the British. The real relief